Norman England, the conquest that changed England forever. Introduction. In the year 1066, England stood at a turning point. For centuries, Anglo-Saxon kings had ruled the kingdom. England had its own traditions, its own language, its own powerful nobles, and a political system that had developed over generations. But in 1066, everything changed. A foreign army crossed the English Channel. Its leader was William, Duke of Normandy, a powerful ruler from northern France who believed that the English crown belonged to him. What followed was one of the most famous invasions in European history. The Norman Conquest did not simply replace one king with another. It transformed England's rulers, castles, churches, language, land ownership, and relationship with Europe. This is the story of Norman England. The crisis of 1066. The story begins with the death of Edward the Confessor, King of England, in January 1066. Edward had no surviving children, and his death created a struggle for the English throne. The most powerful English nobleman was Harold Godwinson. He was an experienced military leader and had enormous influence in England. After Edward's death, Harold was chosen and crowned king. But Harold was not the only man who believed he had a claim to the throne. Across the English Channel, William, Duke of Normandy, claimed that Edward had promised him the crown. William also argued that Harold had once sworn to support William's claim. Harold rejected William's claim, and William decided to invade. The Battle of Hastings. In September 1066, William gathered a large army and crossed the English Channel, but Harold was already facing another invasion. The Norwegian king, Harald Hardrada, had invaded northern England with a Viking army. Harold marched north and defeated the Vikings at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. It was a major victory, but Harold's army had little time to rest. News arrived that William had landed in southern England. Harold immediately marched his army south. Eventually, the two forces met near Hastings on the 14th of October 1066. The battle was long and difficult. The English fought mainly on foot and formed a strong defensive shield wall. The Normans attacked with infantry, archers, and cavalry. After hours of fighting, the English position began to collapse. King Harold was killed. His army was defeated. William had won. The victory at Hastings opened the road to the English throne. William becomes king. William did not immediately control all of England. He had won a great battle, but many English people still resisted Norman rule. William moved toward London and gradually strengthened his position. On Christmas Day 1066, William was crowned King of England at Westminster Abbey. He became known to history as William the Conqueror, but conquering England was easier than controlling it. Rebellion broke out in different parts of the kingdom. English nobles and local leaders resisted the new government. William responded with military campaigns and the construction of castles. In New England, the Norman Conquest created a dramatic change in England's ruling class. Many Anglo-Saxon nobles lost their lands and positions. Their estates were given to Norman nobles who had supported William. This created a new aristocracy. Norman lords now controlled enormous areas of English territory. They built castles, collected taxes, administered justice, and ruled local communities in the king's name. England became closely connected to Normandy and continental Europe. The new ruling class also brought new customs and ideas. Norman French became the language of the royal court and much of the aristocracy. Latin remained extremely important in the church and administration. Meanwhile, ordinary English people continued speaking forms of Old English. Over time, these languages influenced each other. This mixture would eventually help produce Middle English. The Age of Castles. Perhaps the most visible symbol of Norman power was the castle. Before the conquest, England already had fortified places, but William and his followers dramatically expanded castle construction. Early Norman castles were often motte and bailey castles. A wooden fortress stood on top of an artificial mound, while an enclosed courtyard protected by defensive walls lay below. Later, many castles were rebuilt in stone. These structures were more than military buildings. They were symbols of royal authority. A castle told the local population that the new rulers were there to stay. One of the most famous Norman castles was the Tower of London. William ordered the construction of the White Tower, which became one of the most recognizable medieval buildings in England. Across the country, Norman castles changed the landscape. The harrying of the north. Resistance was particularly strong in northern England. In the years after the conquest, several rebellions challenged Norman authority. William responded with brutal military campaigns. One of the most infamous was the harrying of the north, carried out during the winter of 1069 to 1070. Norman forces destroyed settlements and resources in areas that had rebelled. The consequences were severe. People died from violence, hunger, and the disruption of agriculture. The campaign demonstrated the determination of William's government to crush resistance and establish control. By the early 1070s, organized resistance had largely been defeated. England was now firmly under Norman rule. The Domesday Book. William also wanted to understand the wealth of his new kingdom. In 1085, he ordered a major survey of England. The information collected was recorded in what became known as the Domesday Book, completed in 1086. It recorded landowners, estates, resources, livestock, and other information about communities across much of England. For William's government, it was an important administrative tool. It helped establish who controlled land and what resources were available. Today, Domesday Book is one of the most important historical records of medieval England. It provides historians with an extraordinary picture of English society in the late 11th century. Norman churches and cathedrals. The Norman transformation was not limited to castles. The church also changed dramatically. Norman rulers and bishops rebuilt many churches and cathedrals in the Romanesque style. These buildings were generally massive, with thick walls, rounded arches, large stone towers, and impressive interiors. Cathedrals became symbols of both religious devotion and Norman power. Major churches were constructed or rebuilt in cities across England. The scale of these buildings demonstrated the wealth and ambition of the new ruling class. William II. William the Conqueror died in 1087. His kingdom was divided among his sons. His eldest surviving son, Robert Curthos, received Normandy. His second son, William Rufus, became King of England. William II ruled from 1087 until 1100. His reign was marked by conflicts with nobles and disputes with the church. In 1100, William II died suddenly while hunting in the New Forest. His younger brother Henry quickly seized the opportunity. Henry became King Henry I. Henry I was a strong and capable ruler. He worked to strengthen royal administration and government. Under Henry, the English monarchy became increasingly organized.